Welcome to Coach on a Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, and today's Coach on a Couch is Marshfield Senior High Tigers fast pitch softball coach, Danny Costa. Danny, thanks for being here today.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you got it. Well, we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to get to know about Coach and get to know about this year's team. We'll kind of do a brief history lesson first, if we can. So those that are new to the audience or new to fast pitch softball in Marshfield, we'll get those folks caught up and then give them some good reasons to come out and watch the games this year.
Sounds good.
That's what it's all about here. So, all right. Well, Danny, let's just start with this. Just tell us about yourself outside of softball a little bit.
Well, I work at a local company here in town, Prince Corporation. I'm an outside salesperson for them. In my spare time, I coach softball and am heavily involved in the youth program, the 8-year-olds and the 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds. And if I'm not driving across West Central Wisconsin, I'm coaching softball.
Yeah, got it. Good. Okay. What? Just looking back over the years, what got you interested in softball?
I played football, and I had an AD at a high school. He was also my linebacker coach. And he said, "Hey, I need a coach for my football team at the high school." So I went over there. I took that job, and then he comes to me and he says, "Hey, I don't have a coach for softball. I need somebody to do it." I said, "Well, I played baseball. I don't know anything about softball. I was a football, baseball guy." And sure enough, I took over the JV program. Went under a lady named Coach Kelly, and she taught me a lot and really fell in love with the game. It's fast. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, good. And we'll get here just in a little bit. We'll catch our audience up on some differences between baseball and softball. There are some, not a lot, but there are some. But first, though, you don't have to go all the way back, but just maybe a short history and reason how in the world you showed up here in Marshfield and started coaching these girls.
Yeah, originally from California, born and raised there. I went to school at Long Beach State and then ended up finishing it in Northern Arizona. Long story short, my sister met a man from Marshfield. She met him in California. They were relocated back here to Appleton. He was relocated here to Marshfield. My father was living with her at the time, and he got sick, so I decided to come out here and spend some time with him before it was too late, and I did. Sure. And my wife fell in love with the community, and next thing you know, I'm coaching high school softball here.
Man, I'll tell you what, Danny, I've told this story, and I won't even go into the story. I've told these stories before, and it's always about a girl. Every time. I don't know how that happens, but it's always about a girl. I've got my own story about a girl.
My wife was the one that talked me out here. Today I'm double second guessing that thought.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and we'll mention that. So April 6th is today's date. We're visiting here with Danny Costa, Marshfield fast pitch girls softball coach. And it's wind blowing snow outside. And the snow doesn't seem to want to let up. Let's just talk about that a little bit. So it's a spring sport here in Wisconsin, and my kids played spring sports, as I call it, cancellation season. So maybe talk about that just a little bit. We're going to have postponements, cancellations. How does a coach and a team work its way through that here in Wisconsin?
It's tough, when you got to play 4 or 5 games in a 6-day span or double headers back to back. Obviously it wears on your pitching. If you're not deep in that aspect, then you can run into trouble, especially in conference games. But we're fortunate to have 2 very good pitchers. Like any other sport, it comes down to taking care of your body. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. These pitchers got to ice their arms. They got to take care of themselves. Young kids don't want to take the time to stretch and ice, and they just want to get in their car and go home and do whatever it is they do. So I'm constantly drilling into their head that they got to ice their arms, take care of their bodies, and that's what's going to last them through the season. Yeah,
good. Well, that's good advice for any season, but especially, like I said, in cancellation postponement season here.
Absolutely.
Those, like you said, those games will start stacking up. Some of them you really do need to make up to make a complete season.
They really will. We're already looking at canceling a few of the non-conference games. Right now, it's looking like we might get 22 games in. Mm-hmm. We travel to Escanaba. We have a tournament in Mosinee, which gives us 3 or 4 games, and then our conference games, which are 12. So we're right around the 20-22 mark. I'd like it to be more around the 26, but really, if we're going into the end of May, that's what I'm aiming for.
Right, right, good. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what you expect to happen this year here in just a little bit. First, though, catch up our audience on baseball. Now, just the way it is, just the way that society is. Baseball, popular sport.
Absolutely.
Fast pitch softball, not quite as popular. Still, though, very popular, very exciting sport to watch.
And picking up.
And picking up for sure. Tell us about some of the differences between baseball and fast pitch softball, whether it's rules or some of the subtleties that happen during the game.
Yeah, I mean, rules pretty much. I mean, the basics of the game. I got to catch, I got to hit, I got to throw. That doesn't change. But the quickness, it's just fast pitch is so much faster than a baseball game. I think there's more action to watch on a pitch-to-pitch basis than there is, which I think when you actually watch a fast pitch game, you kind of fall in love with the speed of the game. Everything seems to be a bang-bang play. There's lots of different aspects. You don't see slappers in baseball. The small ball game is big in softball. And then when you get a girl like I have on my team, Megan Donahue, who can hit the long ball, it's a beautiful thing to watch too, So I think the basics and the fundamentals are the same. You're teaching scooping and inside hand through the ball and the basics, but it really comes down to the quickness of the game. Just so much quicker and bang plays constantly, and you can't afford to mishandle a ball or you're next thing you know, bases are loaded and you got no outs. And,
right.
Some of the things you don't lead off in softball.
Okay.
You get a lead off in baseball.
There's a rules difference there.
Rule difference there. Got to have both feet in contact with the mound at all times. When pitching. So there are little subtle changes like that. There's the circle where it's kind of the safe zone where baseball doesn't really have that. It's live all the time, and once the pitcher's in the safe zone, runners got to either retreat or advance. So little things like that. But overall, in my time playing baseball, coaching baseball in California, and coaching softball, I would take softball every day of the week. You still have the strategy, and it's a much quicker, faster game.
Yeah, good. Okay. You mentioned every day of the week, as we talked about, with almost guaranteed postponements. There could be some times, and you already said this, where there could be many games during the week. Home games are played at Marshfield Fairgrounds Park, and many of the games this year, Coach, will be live streamed, and people can check that out at ZaleskiSports.com. We'll mention that again at the end. All right, well, let's get into a little bit of the history of Marshfield softball very briefly here. 1991, 1997, state champions, Marshfield Tigers. 2018, is state championship a goal for the team?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I'm head coach, every year will be that'll be a goal every single year. I believe we have the talent to do it. I think we have the best pitcher-catcher combination in the state. I think when you look at our top three batters, we probably have the best, I'd say, 3 of the top 10 hitters in the state. And then what was really nice to see this year is how hard kind of the role players worked to get themselves up to speed to be able to make a contribution to the team. We can hit the ball. We can really hit the ball. It comes down to mental makeup, which is so important in the game.
Keep your head in the game all season long.
How you deal with the failure. It's a long season. You're going to strike out. You're going to make errors. It's just part of the game. It's the only game we play where, failure is rewarded or tracked. So you gotta be prepared to battle through that. But every year I coach, that'll be the goal. We're doing good things with the youth program. So the future for Marshfield softball looks very bright. We have a lot of young kids coming up that are playing. Our youth program has grown from 35 kids my first year to 140 the last year. We were last year's numbers. So I think some of that has to do with the success of the program the last couple of years, and the fact that John Donahue and I, he runs the youth program. We spend a lot of time with those young kids, developing them and making sure they love the game and want to play it. Right.
Okay. And we'll get to some of those specific player names here in just a bit. First, though, as I did a little bit of research coming in here, so I went back 17 years. My apologies. 17 years. Stevens Point state champions, 8 of those 17 years. A division rival for Marshfield in just about every sport, as it turns out. But certainly your rival, and somebody you'll need to get past to get your goals this year with a team history like they have. During last year's tournament, you won your first game. Number 5 seed won the game, And then second game, look who's there, number 1 seed Stevens Point. So 5-4, you went down. Just tell us about that game. What
That
do
was
you remember
actually
of
a
it?
sectional semifinal. So we beat New Richmond at home,
Yes, yeah.
and then we went and we played Superior up at Superior
Right.
and beat them, and then we jumped out on Stevens Point early.
Yeah.
And like I said, that mental makeup, you have to learn how to you learn how to lose just as much as you learn how to win. And since they've dominated the conference for so long, the girls kind of sit around and wait for what's going to go wrong when you play them. I think they see that name on the front of the jersey and they get scared of it. Something's going to go wrong. We can be up 10-1. Something's going to go wrong. Which we were up 4-0 on them. We jumped out on them early. To be a rivalry, you got to win some games, and we haven't done that lately. So they are by far the most dominant program in this area. I give nothing but respect to Tom Droner. That's exactly what I want to emulate, and that's success. He works hard to have that success, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to come in after him, and I don't want to beat him. I think talent-wise, we're equally as talented as them, and I would match us up on paper with them every day of the week. It's gonna, they go into a game and they expect to win. They're Stevens Point. We expect to win. We go into a game and we hope to win. And when that changes, it'll change the outcome of how we handle them. So that's really what we work on. Because physical ability, my opinion, and it's probably going to be written up in papers and everything like that after this show, but I think we're more talented than them.
Yeah.
I think we have the better team.
Good. So winning attitude, and that's what I'm seeing here. So again, we're visiting here with Marshfield softball head coach Dan Costa, and we're now going to talk about the 2018 season, and we'll get into that a little bit. So where I always like to start this is, tell me about the seniors. Senior leadership, what do you expect out of those girls?
Kate Conradi, Megan Donahue, Emily Dreger, and Morgan Nordbeck, 4 seniors. Morgan was the second team all-conference. Emily and Megan, first team. Emily also had Megan also had first team all-district and honorable mention all-state. They worked really hard, Part of being a senior is being a leader. When they were freshmen, I don't think they had people to show them how to lead. So one of the things I always do is match up my seniors with the young kids, and hey, this is what we expect out of the program. They've done a really good job of that. They've all spent all fall and winter. They know it's their last hurrah. One of the things we do is we count down when they get there and kids get there. I show them how many at-bats you have in your career, how many games you're possibly going to play in your career, and what you do with them is up to you. And the girls know they got about 90 at-bats left. They know they got about 20 games. And when you break that down into even a more minute thing, you got about 240 outs. So they want to take advantage of every single one that they can, make it a good senior year. And they all worked really, really, really hard. Really hard. I've been around a couple classes in California that worked hard. But this group, every single day in the facility, we have a hitting facility every single day, hitting, throwing, catching, pitching. So they know it's at stake. They know the kind of team we have. And they know what I expect from them. If I'm going to play the best 9, and whether you're a senior or a freshman, the best 9 that come in are going to play. No hard feelings. It's business. It's not friendship. Right. I got to put the best thing, do what's best for the front of the jersey, not the back. And, kudos to, like I said, those role players, those juniors and seniors and freshmen. They all have worked extremely hard. So if success finds them this year, it's to their own doing. Nothing, no magic that I put in them, except to instill that kind of work ethic.
Right. Geez, Coach, put me in. I'm ready to go, man. You can coach me anytime. So you mentioned Megan Donahue a couple times, so let's talk about her. Led your team in batting average last year. 15 home runs. Led your team in home runs last year. Had the best ERA on the team. Am I leaving anything out?
Great kid. Been around a few kids that work as hard as she does. Emily Dreger's another one. They just, you go to the park and you see her hitting home runs, you see her striking everybody out, and you think it's easy to do. But you don't see the 2 hitting sessions that she does a day. You don't see the batting practice she does. Works really hard. Really hard.
Yeah.
I get choked up when I talk about them because
yeah.
I've been around them for a few years and I enjoy their company. We have a good time. And sad to see them go. But one thing I want to get through is, she deserves her success. It's not given to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She works hard.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, we're very excited to watch this year's team. One of the reasons that we had you here today. So, and we can see the excitement through the emotion for sure. I mean, you're pumped up for the season. I mean, we're ready to go. Yeah.
We were supposed to have Stevens Point yesterday.
Yeah.
But it got canceled due to the snow. So.
Well, they're still going to be on your schedule twice. So yeah, you're gonna get them twice for sure.
Yep.
Let's talk about some of the other players. Jenna Jacoby, great athlete.
Awesome.
Jordan
kid.
Pretch, a great,
awesome kid. Awesome kids.
So, as fans come out to watch, and again, home games played at Marshall Fairgrounds Park, live streams available at ZaleskiSports.com all during the year. Who are some others? Maybe some up-and-comers or some that you think, geez, watch that one, because I think she could be really good.
Rhiannon Corzola, our third baseman. She's played steady for us the last 2 years. Kind of kid, does whatever you want her to do. Another tip to young kids out there, be versatile. She's played in her 3 years. This will be her third different position. So she's played right field, second base, and now she's making the move to third base for us. And, it's hard to keep a girl off the field like that is willing to do whatever you ask her to do. We have 3 young freshmen that are very good. Lydia Schaefer, Brianna Jacoby, who is the cousin of Jenna Jacoby, and Taylor Barwick. Taylor's a lefty slapper, brings a lot of speed. That's one thing I really, just going back to improvements of the team, we haven't had the best team speed. And this year, the team speed is really dialed up with the freshmen in the outfield. We're going to have the fastest outfield we've ever had. We should be much faster on the base paths, which is going to put a lot of pressure on teams. And those 3 freshmen provide a lot of that. I would say that Brianna and Taylor are a little bit more ready than Lydia is at this point. So Lydia will see spot duty, but I'm looking for both of them to contribute. In fact, in Florida, they both had a great trip. We went down to Madison. We went down to Whitney Young, 9-11 in the bottom of the 7th. They were 2 of them who got hits to at least give us a chance to win the game. So whenever you see freshmen delivering in pressure situations like that, it's huge. But Kate Conrady's another one. She batted less than 100 last year. I think her batting average was 97. Didn't put in a whole lot of work in the off season. Dedicated herself. Dropped 35 pounds this season. Spent her fall and winter in the facility hitting and pitching, and she looks like a different player. So I expect her to. She actually hit a home run in Florida. So I expect her to contribute as well. But, the seniors, Megan and Emily and Jenna are going to do their thing. They're going to set the stage for us. Morgan's a contact hitter, so she's going to move runners for us, sacrifice for us. And then it's going to be up to Rhiannon and Kate and Jordan. Jordan's never had the best bat, but she's so solid in the field. Can't keep her out of there, Right. So I'm willing to make that change. But she's coming along. She's put in a lot of work, and she's starting to hit the ball a little better. And I always say if I can get 250 or 300 out of those guys, we'll be pretty tough to beat. So
yeah. Well, Coach, I think you're going to be tough to beat all year. We're very excited that the season's here.
Yeah,
like you said, you got a couple games on your belt already. As soon as we get the snow cleared out, we'll play all the rest of them, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So really appreciate you stopping in and sharing your story and telling us what to expect this year. We think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I appreciate you having me, and thanks so much. And come out to a game if you guys are in town.
Yeah, well, we are, and that's my encouragement today. I've said it a number of times. Get out and watch these games. These girls are going to have a fantastic season. They're always going to have fun, and when you got a coach like Coach Costa, they're going to play hard every game. So get out and watch them. All right, guys. Well, that'll do it for this session of Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, and we'll see you next time.